Good morning, Divine One. This is Infinity, and holy moly, this view is amazing today. I didn't check the time, but I think it's like 8:18, I would guess, and I'm not going to start it again. I just saw it a couple minutes ago. The sun is coming up over the mountain. It's been cloudy, but at least we have a little bit of blue sky shining through, just like yesterday. I just put seeds out for the birdies. Oh, there's a bunch of sparrows out there. Sparrows are so freaking cute. And a lot of them, like, I'll go right up to the door. It's a glass door. I'll go right up to the door and they'll just stay. Like, some will fly away, but a lot of them will just stay there. So cute. Anyway, good morning to you. I hope that you have had a wonderful day and morning so far. I don't know where I was trying to go here. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. How beautiful. And look at those clouds right above the trees there. Wow, look at that. Oh, I'm still not used to living here. I don't know that anybody could ever just get used to this. Like, it's just so unbelievably beautiful and majestic. And I mean, trust me, wishes and dreams and miracles and divine miraculous healing and living in places that your soul needs you to be is very much a reality. I'm living it. I'm proof of that. And I'm so blessed and grateful for my amazing journey that I've had so far. It has been unbelievably challenging from the very, very beginning of this incarnation. Oh. Oh, man. But I laugh because I've healed from all of it. It's all I see, the purpose in all of it. I carry, only love for it all, and can see the magic and the beauty of experience and duality and confusion and heartbreak. Oh, wow. Did we see that? There was a birdie that just came like... What? I was looking up and then I saw from right underneath the window a bird. I'm not even sure what kind of bird it was. It was so fast. I don't know if the video got that. Oh, it was just... Okay. I just saw 333. Anyway, wow. Yeah, so I only moved here overnight from the 15th to the 16th. It was the weekend of my 52nd birthday. It was the full moon, the Gemini full moon. It was Sagittarius season, December 2024, Mercury retrograde. We just started the 12/12 to 12/22 Stargate on 12/12. It was 12/15 when we packed up the truck. And made the 3.5 hour plus drive west to my new home. Got here at 1 o'clock in the morning. Took 2.5 hours in the pouring rain, by the way. Yeah, there was a huge storm going on. In the pouring rain, me and 3 men and It's been a lot. I absolutely love it here. It's beautiful. In every way, shape, and form, this is an upgrade. And my last home was a massive upgrade and absolutely beautiful. It hurt my heart to leave there. I loved it so much. But my landlords were literally monsters. And sent monsters after me as well. Oh my God. And I swear to God, if you can't laugh at the spiritual war and the opposition, if you have to endure it, and the attacks, and the crazy shit that goes down, but the light turns the dark into the light. So whenever there's a challenge that comes, and we have the opportunity, we talked about this yesterday, we have the opportunity to turn that into our advantage. And that is what I've been conditioned to do since my awakening and stepping into and embodying who I truly am and what I'm meant to do here. At this point, I have ascended and upgraded on every level in my life, from spiritually to physically, energetically, mentally, emotionally, abundantly, spatially. Like if you showed the me from 20 years ago clips of the life that I live today and said, that's going to be you in 20 years, I would be like, I sure fucking hope you're right, but I don't see how that's ever going to happen. I don't understand. This doesn't make sense. How is that possible? I was a broken, chronically ill, suicidal. I mean, my life was utter shit. It was it was bad because I was so, literally, unbelievably, energetically challenged in all the ways. I didn't know what I was. I didn't know I was an empath, let alone a psychic physical empath. I didn't know that all my life, the issues that I had on every single level is because of who I am and what my body just is designed for, and what runs on autopilot and what doesn't work very well on autopilot or without. Look at those swirls. Look at those woodlands. That's like a full-on wave going on there. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that energy. So good. All this area right here. If you heard of this before, I'm sorry. I'm speaking to those who haven't. If you have, I'm sorry. But this whole area here is private river area for me. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. In the best way, it's just in the absolute best way. I am so blessed, and I know how horribly challenging and painful and there's another birdie, and in lack life can be, and desperate and destitute and inspirationless and blocked in all the ways, and just exhausted and spent and done, just fucking done. I've been there. I have been there. I was there most of my life. Trust me. Trust me. It was extreme. So, but I was always guided, whether I was conscious of it or not, to persevere, to be resilient, to take one day at a time. But I definitely did get to a point where I wanted it to end so much sooner than later. I wish to be dead by 55. Now I hope to live 100 more years at least. You know? Anywho, I have the Dragon Fae Oracle. The dragons are here. The dragons are so in love with us, they say. They also had me bring this gorgeous amethyst. Let me see here. Oi. Sorry for the shaky shakes. Come on. When iPhone wants to do too much. Come on, iPhone. Honestly, what in the world? Does this ever happen to you? It drives me insane. Okay, we're just gonna do it this way. Sorry, but that was nuts. Drives me nuts when it does that. This beautiful, tiny, pretty small amethyst. I have them in all the sizes. Well, not all the sizes, but I have some small ones and I have that's my biggest one right there. But I have a various amount of amethyst, and I have amethyst the most. Oh, here we go. There we go. Oh my God, look at this. So gorgeous. Oh, just take that in. Do you know, if you just look at and have the intention to connect to the energy of whatever crystal it happens to be, you will be working with that crystal. The whole, like all of the amethyst, not just a amethyst, but all of the amethyst. So you can do it with any crystal. It really comes in handy when you need to, when we're called to work with massive diamonds. Okay, here's our card. The Pendragon, pure male energy. Oh, I love it. Whoop, whoop. I just saw 13, 14. 13s are female, feminine energy. We have the card number 20, the Pendragon, pure male energy at 1331, 1333. I love it. I love it. I love it. The Pendragon. Oh, with the full moon. Look at that full moon. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's get into it. The Pendragon. Where are my glasses? These are tiny little words with tiny little letters. The Pendragon, pure male energy, page 84 and 85 and 86 and 87. So get cozy. I am he who is the hunter, the sage, the father, the provider, the protector. I am he who watches over his people and does his best for his family. Excuse me. I am he, your brother, your father, your husband, your son. I am sheer powerful masculine energy, and I am the lover of the goddess of the dragon Fae. Together we create wholeness. Apart we wander alone and are more easily wounded, even destroyed. Fucking dragons always make me cry. You know, it was probably years before I could work with this fucking deck without crying every time. And we just broke the streak. Together we create wholeness. Apart we wander alone and are more easily wounded, even destroyed. I have a role to care for others, to use my physical strength, and to use my attributes to fight for those I love. And I will do that. And I will do that. I am king and emperor and God, and I care for you. Do not fear me. I would not hesitate to sweep you into my arms and hold you. I love you. But know that my role here takes me away many times from all the love and playfulness that still lives inside of me. Trust in my actions. See the truth and choose a partner who is in action, a strong and caring, manly man. If you are a man, then this is what you must become. Oh, God. If you are a man, then this is what you must become. That true masculine hero, that being of protection. No matter what you may believe about heroic men, it is time for you to embrace your hero self and become all of who you are. Do not debase masculinity. Respect us men for what we are. Dude, I cannot see through my tears. It is time for you to embrace your hero self and become all of who you are. Do not debase masculinity. Respect us men for who we are, and we will show you our love. We will not let you down. We will take care of you. That is not to say you are weak. We merely ask you to receive that which we wish to give to you. We merely ask that you receive that which we wish to give to you. Let us be strong in our own way. Let us care for you. Let us warn you away from that which would hurt you. I will protect. I will provide. I will build a home and I will bring food to the table. I will build this home with my hands and you will see the evidence of my efforts. And I will love you. That is my job. And I will never let you down. Oh, I'm just remembering the first day that it was not too long after I started working with the dragons and the, like I say with the fae, the dragons came for me. Just like the angels and the archangels came for me first and took me out of the depths of, I don't think I was going to kill myself, but like I was saying before, I really wanted to not be here. I thought about it a lot. My life was just darkness and pills and pain and complete, utter solitude and not the way that you want it. Um, sorry for the glare. I'm just realizing there's all this glare. Anyway, a few years later, like 4 years, 5 years later, after my brothers and sisters, what people refer to as and what we know as archangels, what I now know is called a divine eternal luminary. So we need to start like switching over to that, by the way. Because archangel has this whole religious connotation, and it's not based in any kind of truth. But that is what it is referring to, and there is not any kind of, there is truth to it, but it's been twisted. So there's more falsity than truth to it. And the truth is that that energy, a divine eternal luminary, aka archangel, while they're seen as separate, there really is one that like is all connected. It's like many heads of the same being kind of thing. That's the reality. Anyway, before I understood all that, and while I was still connecting to all the things, the dragons came for me right after the angels and the archangels, or the divine luminaries, the divine eternal luminaries, and I knew that they, like, I had always had a thing for dragons. But hadn't really thought about them being actually real beings, like actually real, because the way that they're depicted are like the way animals are, you know, and they weren't like flesh and bone animals. They know, I mean, they're elemental. They're created by the divine eternal luminaries, aka archangels, to connect with Gaia very specifically through nature, through the elements. So we have fire, water, earth, air dragons, right? And that's absolutely the way that there's so many ways and shapes and sizes that they can materialize and show themselves and work with the elements. So what I was getting at was, after they came for me, after I started working with this deck, and after I started connecting with them, but I still hadn't really seen anything yet. There was a sunset where I was guided, the first very magical place I was guided to, after my awakening, after my like real conscious awakening, in 2016. And it was just a beautiful, unbelievable, magical place in Laguna Niguel. It was like you go into the backyard, and I had French doors from my bedroom to the backyard, and it was just absolutely enchanted and magical and beautiful and a portal. So there came the dragons, there came the fae, hardcore. That's where I got my doves, my beautiful, beautiful doves. Oh, doves have been coming up into my world, into my consciousness like crazy. Oh, my beautiful doves. But my doves reincarnated as my dogs. So, yeah. Anywho, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. But there was this sunset, and I was guided outside out front, so not to the back. So the west was to the front of the house. We got the sunrise in the backyard, and we got the sunset. And my house was not as high up on this hill as it could possibly be, not by any stretch of the imagination, but pretty deep. Like, it was probably at least a 500-foot incline to that where that house sat because it's very hilly there. If you look it up on Google Maps, look up Laguna Niguel, California. It's extremely hilly. You never see people. I was the only one walking around in that place, in that city, because people it's affluent. You don't see anything other than white people, and you're probably hard pressed to find any homeless people in the Laguna Niguel, I'm sure, even now. Like, they say homeless are everywhere. No, they're not everywhere. Anywho, not the kind of place I was used to. I went from downtown Long Beach, the most diverse place you could probably, one of the most diverse places you could possibly be on the planet is downtown Long Beach, California. A high rise, not a high rise, but like I was on like the third floor of a apartment building. People above me, below me, and all the sides of me. It was brutal energetically, but the ocean was there, and I walked a lot, and there was, I adapted, but it was not easy energetically, and I wasn't even awake to know the difference, but I had gone through my very magical and mystical healing a couple years before. So physically, I was so much better, else I wouldn't have been able to be there and walk around that. I mean, I walked like 2 miles almost every day, easily. I didn't have a car. I used Uber or Lyft, or my world was small, and downtown has a lot of shit, and I got delivery. Like, I didn't need a car. I didn't have a car for almost 15 years of my adulthood. Anyway, I walked out the front door to see this sunset, and I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Something is happening here. I need to see more of it, because the house is kind of obscured things a bit. And I was guided to go all the way down, walk down to the street, to the intersection where there was this big parking lot. And like a shopping center, basically. And like from there, it was unbelievable. So me and Rosie went down there, my little puppy, my dog. She was my adorable little doggy, Chihuahua Italian Greyhound, and literally one of the cutest fucking things on the planet. Yeah. She can make any heart melt. Well, almost any. Anyway, we saw the most amazing sunset, and I didn't understand what I was looking at the time, but I was just dumbfounded at what I was looking at. It was massive and big and bright and golden and orange and beautiful, and one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen in my whole fucking life. And I've always been into the sky, always been into sunsets, always been into clouds, always been into taking pictures of the sky and seeing things in the clouds, and just as most people, or a lot of people, do. But this day was different, and I just stood there, and I took pictures, and I stood there for as long as I could until it all kind of faded away, and it just changed colors, and chalked it up to that was one of the most beautiful sunsets ever. The date was 7/7/17. I didn't know about stargates at the time, but it was the very beginning of the most dragoniest stargate and month of the year, July. And the July Stargate is heavy with divinity, heavy with dragon energy every single year. And I had no clue about that at all, as I just saw 3003. And a couple weeks later, or about a week later, not a couple weeks later, about a week later, 10 days, I'm hearing it was the 17th, being told what happened, reminded of what happened here, that I got guidance to go back and look at, I had been working with this deck and really connecting with the dragons. And all of a sudden, very clearly, I heard a message to go back to that day, to that sunset day, to look at my pictures, because I really hadn't. Like, I was there, I took the pictures, I moved on with my life. I really didn't even go back and look at the pictures. Like, it was just, that whole time period was, a lot of shit was going on. A lot of shit was going on. And I had no idea of the spiritual war. I was just being kind of downloaded with all of that and trying to be told and understood with the people around me what was going on, because I really didn't know anything about it. I didn't know about the dark, the light, parasites. I didn't know like anything at that point. Still, I was very green when it came to that, all that stuff. Like, I just had no understanding, no idea, no awareness, no consciousness of it whatsoever. Just like most people don't still. And it's understandably why, you don't until you do. And at that point I didn't. But there was a bunch of shit going on. I mean, I could feel it. It was insane, but I didn't know that, the definition of everything. I just knew people were acting and being fucking crazy, and there was shit going on, and I knew certain things, but I didn't know all the things. It was like I was working with Oracle. I was spiritually awake, and I was awakening more, but there's a lot as or as you're coming to find out for yourself, there's a lot to all this. Anyway, I went back, looked at the pictures, and clear as fucking day, massive in the sky, a beautiful dragon. You cannot not see it. And if you can't see it, then you're parasitic and you're being fucked with to just not see it, because it is the most clear picture of a dragon that you could ever see, that's unaltered and just by the impression in the clouds. And that's exactly what it is sometimes. It's just literally like pressing, like if you imagine like getting up against a curtain and how the curtain just kind of falls against your face. Well, this was like, it was a wet curtain, and it got every single detail of this beautiful dragon face. My guardian dragon, aka the Pendragon. So this is why I got so emotional earlier reading this, because he came for me in such a big way on the biggest dragon day of the year, 7/7. It's like I said, 7/7, or that whole Stargate, and really just, and then 10 days later on the 17th was like, go and look at what happened over the last, check it out. Just see what you looked at that you didn't even know that you looked at. And come to find out, I've been doing that like my whole life. I've been taking pictures of not just Pendragon, but dragons, without understanding what I was doing, because I wasn't conscious to it, but I was doing it. I did see them, but I didn't know that I saw them, kind of thing. Anywho, I'm going to continue this. It's going to be longer, way longer than I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. Okay, because I was guided to tell you all that. And I will say here, this beautiful he is one of the reasons why, like, I can be quote unquote alone and not have a man in my life. You know, I pay men to do stuff, and I love it when I, you know, get experts to do things because they're men and they're strong, or they're this, or they're skilled. And, you know, I think even men need to do that more. But instead of all the, you know, I'll do it myself. You know, pay a professional. Just, you know, sometimes just pay a professional. I don't know. That comes out. Anyway. Anywho. He is one of the divine masculines in my life. That energy that speaks to me, sings to me, loves me, hugs me, kisses me, cuddles me, pushes me, you know, makes me laugh. I mean, there's so many, not just men, you know, the feminines too, of course, but there's so much masculine, beautiful energy to be had when there is, and not in human form. I mean, male humans are beautiful, don't get me wrong. But we can tap into that beautiful, divine, masculine energy, and in the ways that it comes to us, like with this Pendragon, and we can be inspired by that too. Support the males and the masculines in your life. Support the human men. And if you are a human man, channel in this energy to let yourself be that. This doesn't mean that you don't need love and nurturing and understanding and cuddles too. Of course you do. But innately, most men have the drive to be exactly that, manly. And the Pendragon is the most beautiful energy to tap into with this. Okay, so here we go. About the Pendragon. Pendragon literally translates from the Welsh as chief dragon. It was the last name of King Arthur and of his father Uther Pendragon. So King Arthur Pendragon. Uther Pendragon. It means chief. And within the dragon fey energy of this name is the ability to defend and protect, to rule, and to be a very strong leader. The Pendragon is a ruler amongst dragon fey, and as such, his responsibilities as well as his influence are vast. He is powerful, but a loving heart truly does beat beneath the fierce exterior. Above all true and loyal, he is a faithful and passionate lover too. The Pendragon will move mountains and travel the earth and beyond to be united with his love. He will also do all he can for his offspring, even to the extent of building a foundation of which will shelter them for years to come. Okay, so I need to clarify here, because dragons are not, like, they don't have families. They just are. They don't breed. They're not like a race. Except for when they incarnate. And then all the other shit applies. So go back and read it like that. Okay. Divinatory meanings. This card signifies pure, sheer masculine energy. And as such, it suggests issues and conditioning to do with masculine role models in your life. Maleness is somehow significant in your life when this card makes its appearance. The Pendragon can also come up when men are facing fatherhood and responsibility for the first time, or the seventh. It is for women a revealing card about their attitudes towards masculinity, as defined by our current culture, which is very much involved in the radical process of evolution. This card often comes up when we lack or seek a strong male role model in our life. if it is reversed, it truly indicates that your connection to your own internal masculine aspect is weakened and needs to be reconnected with. Let yourself be strong. I love it. Yeah, this is definitely in one way, shape, or form, or maybe quite a few, to reconnect, heal the masculine energy, wound. If you have that, if you've been abused by men in this lifetime and have not healed from that, if you hold grudges towards men, you see men as, as a whole, as, repressors or suppressors or abusers or bad, or, if you're just scared of men, fearful of men, reject men, don't like men, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Even if it's not that severe, if there's still a negative charge there with masculine, with the divine masculine, with maleness, manliness, then there's a wound to heal. So check yourself, because if you have pain for either the feminine or the masculine, let's just talk about the masculine. If you have pain for the masculine within you, that means there's wounds. If you have anything other than love and reverence for the masculine, then there's wounds. If you can just automatically think of males or men or any of that in a way that is negative, mostly, or to a decent degree anyway, then there's a wound to heal. If you reject your own masculinity and fight against being masculine, then there's a wound to heal, because men should be masculine. That's natural. Even gay men go masculine real quick. Even the most, you've seen it. Even the most flamboyant of men, there is masculine energy under there. There has to be. They're a fucking man. Like, hello. And when we're so uncomfortable with that masculinity and the archetype and the energy of male and man, that's when we choose to run from it, to fight it, to transition away from it, because it's so painful to us that we think we're wrong in our bodies, when you're never wrong. You're never wrong, just for the record. No one's ever born in the wrong body. Ever. Like, it's literally impossible to be born in the wrong body. And that might be difficult, when you think of handicaps and stuff like that. Sorry, it just is. It is true. You're born in the body you're meant to be born into. There's no mistakes of that. There are no mistakes when it comes to that. There's confusion after the fact and brainwashing after the fact, but there is no mistake. Anywho, if there's a dissonance with the male or the female, the masculine or the feminine, there's wounds to heal. And for most people, there's wounds to heal. Whether it's mother, father, sister, brother, grandfather, neighbor, whatever, there's wounds to heal. For most, nobody gets through life without wounds to heal. And they're usually attached to a man or a woman. So, and how we relate and how we perceive, and how, all of these things, whether we are this or we are that, or we've been this, or doesn't, whatever. We have, but whether you're a female or a male, you have both the feminine and the masculine, equal parts swirling together. Not like one side's this, one side's that. It's all a blendy blend, mixy mix of the two things. It's in a blender of energies together. So if there's dissonance in one or either or both sides, if you have issues with both men and women, or masculine and feminine, and then there's wounds to heal. Like I said, there's both. Then there's dissonance with you, in you, about you, because you are those things too. So the sooner we clean up our perceptions and our wounds and stuff about the bigness and the whole of masculine or feminine and all of that stuff, the more we heal, the faster we heal, right? Okay. Woo! Working with the Pendragon. Begin to list and feel and think of some of your positive experiences with men this lifetime. Yeah, with men this lifetime, not just, sorry. From moments with your father to times when a man has acted honorably. Now, from those examples, begin to allow more of that version of masculine energy into your life. Gradually, let's change your imagined and sometimes negative beliefs about men. And when Pendragon walks in, he demands that you treat the men he sends your way with respect and honor, just as he will treat you in return. You will notice that ignoble men no longer have a place in your life and that you are no longer attracting them. Indeed, Pendragon wonders why you would waste your time with people who do not behave in noble fashion. And he does not want you to be involved with men who behave deceitfully, who are fearful of their own power, who take advantage of members of their own family or their partners. Ask yourself if you feel uncomfortable with strong men. If the answer is yes, then the Pendragon's presence indicates that you can work on issues of feeling disempowered by being around strong men. By being a strong man or woman and having positive connections with other strong individuals, you can only benefit. True power begins within. Your solar plexus may often ache when your own power is somehow being diminished by your fears regarding control and authority figures. Loving power is a wonderful thing. Pendragon will powerfully and clearly and very directly assist you in replacing outmodeled patterns and beliefs regarding men and relationships with powerful, loving, caring examples of men who love commitment and children, and most of all, you. I love this so much. You know, what can I say? It was all said. This is a beautiful message for a Sunday. And the sun is the masculine energy to Gaia's feminine energy. Without the sun injecting the energy into Gaia, into her field, none of us would be. And that is pure masculine energy. Without that pure masculine energy, the sun, trying so hard to peek through this bullshit, this geoengineered bullshit that's been going on for way too fucking long, but don't get me started. Just know that also the dragons, one of the primary things that dragons do is actually help Gaia clean the environment, and that includes chemtrails. So know that that's definitely a thing that goes on, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating that it goes on until it's not going on anymore. And it's been pretty intense lately, that's for sure. As noted, all over the world. Okay, once again, Pendragon. Beautiful, strong, noble, loyal, fierce, and in human form. Watch the fuck out of an incarnate fucking dragon. Because they're not many. When a dragon chooses to incarnate, I mean, they're literally choosing to put themselves through hell until they learn their power. And I wish that for all the beautiful divine incarnate dragons. All the ones I ever met did not know what they were and were not awake, but were amazing. Every single one of them. And even the ones that I haven't met that I just, see in the public eye. There's only a couple of them. But they are there. Well, okay, there's a couple of them. But anywho, they've all been through their own a lot of challenges and understanding their power, and they're still trying to figure it out. But even if a man isn't a dragon, a man is a man, and we need to love all men, even the ones that, are parasitic and do horrible things to women and to fellow man. The only way we can help balance out the divine feminine and the divine masculine is to see it for what it is, not to be angry at the person, but to see, if a man isn't anything other than noble and loyal and loving and kind and a strong leader, then he's unable to, tap in with his true divinity. And most likely there is a parasitic reason for that. Because most men are good. And then the ones that aren't, there's a reason for that. And if we can understand that they've been turned into the monsters that they are at whatever level that we know them to be, that's not natural. There's something attached to them, possessing them to be that way. Whatever way that they're being that is abusing their masculinity, that is twisting it into something else. We have to see that. We have to separate. And also give love and reverence to the ones who are compromised. They need it so much. And we hope that they will break free and see what is happening and understand. They fight with themselves. They don't like themselves because there's something possessing them to not like themselves and to do and act and be in negative ways against themselves and others. And they don't like being that. But they are that. It's very confusing to them. So let's send out the energy that we hope and we pray and we wish through love that they are able to become sovereign and that the parasites will no longer control them and they will not be possessed anymore in one way, shape, or form, that they see that reality of for what it is. And seek help and seek guidance and find their divinity to overcome the infiltration of a parasitic being, forcing them to do and be what they are not, truly and naturally at their core, and let their true soul come and shine through. The same for the women, of course. And let that go and flow with the river. And I wish for you a beautiful and glorious day. I hope you really allow for the medicine of the Pendragon, a pure divine male essence and energy and the power. Tap into your solar plexus, tap into the sun. Decide to heal your male, masculine father wounds as deeply as you possibly can. It's only going to make you stronger, no matter what you are. I love you. And until next time, transmute with the amethyst and be loved by the Pendragon.